Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Today we're looking at Disorder, which for a longest time I thought was a party game by R&R Games, but it's not. It's actually a little bit better than that. It's a word-building game where players will be playing cards down, trying to cooperatively or collectively create words. And when somebody creates a word or cannot recall them, you'll be scoring points based on that. So once again, it's going to take a pretty good knowledge of words, the English language, perhaps. Like maybe you can play this in a different language. But you're going to be looking to build those words out, and how those are going to score points for you is going to be the main goal of this game. Now, I am not the target audience for this game, nor is this something I would normally sit down and play. I would rather do something else than play a game like this, watch a movie or talk to somebody or go play a sport, anything but play a game like this. It's fine. I do like some word games, like I like paperback and things like that. And I would say this would probably be higher on the echelon for me of playing these word type games. This one actually surprised me quite a bit about how enjoyable it would be. Now, sometimes you can play letters in there that kind of screw things up, etc. And there could be some arguments, I suppose, about a word. So you might want to have a dictionary or a phone nearby. We could Google a certain word, etc. for the spelling of it. There are some wild cards interacted into this. So I feel like this is a pretty strong little word game that a lot of people are looking for something that's simpler to play, not very complicated. The rule set never gets in the way. It's a little easier to play. Disorder could be one of those games for you. Now, for everybody else, if you don't like word games, if you don't like letter games, then this isn't going to be something for you. The components, I feel like the scoring chits, a little better than I expected them to be. Everything's a little bit better here than I thought it would be. I think that makes the number of it go up. It's going to be a purge for me. We don't really play a lot of word games. It isn't going to be something I'm going to want to bring out to the table. But for those that do, this is one you may have missed. I would recommend you checking this one out. So here's Disorder, which by R&R Games, I really thought this was a party game forever when it was sitting on my shelf. It is not. Get a rule book, which we'll take a look in a few minutes. Going to get a cheap little board. But one thing that is nice about the board, it's got little grooves in it, so they don't move over. And it comes in a lot of different colors. That's nice. You're going to get these chips. Now, these look like cheapo chips, but they're actually pretty nice. And they have the numbers printed on them. They're bland, but they actually feel pretty good. They almost feel like those Board Game Geek bits. They feel very similar to me. You're going to get a bunch of cards. They're going to be pretty bland. They're cheapo cards. And they're going to have letters and a score on them. So you can see here. It is what it is. So it feels like a party game. The components are bad. The insert is fairly nice. You can see in here that the insert looks pretty great. Everything fits in, has a spot. So here's the rule book. It's just a one sheet, like almost like a pamphlet. With that blue on white and some really small font. Now, there's some pictures and examples here, but it's just a block of here, and it was like they kind of scrim everything on here. I think you'll learn the rules pretty well. There's some special rules and optional cards that you can utilize as you're playing through it. But the rules are fairly good. You'll get through them. It's just a little difficult to read. These are the victory points you'll be earning during the game. As soon as somebody hits a threshold, the game will end, and whoever has the least number of points will win the game. You do not want to have the most points. Everybody's going to get 7 cards after they're shuffled up, and you'll put them in your hand, and you're ready to play the game. On your turn, you're going to take a card from your hand, and you're going to look and see what you want to play. You can put any letter out that you want for the first card, anywhere that you want to put it. That's a fair play, and then the next player will go. Any previous cards of the play do have to be put to the left or the right of this card. Now, mind you, you can always play a card on this side, and it can just be a wild card. Now, what's going to be happening through the game is people are going to be able to challenge. So, let's say you had something like this, and you had tray out, T-R-A-Y. Somebody could challenge it and say, this is tray. This is an actual word, T-R-A-Y. And if you can't make up any other word that would fit here, and TR something Y and go on, then you would be stuck, if you're the last person to play the card, with gaining all these points. Any disorder card like this is worth 1 point. So you would get 6, 11, 12 points for that. Let's say you had a word like this, and they said, well, TRIM, that's trim. That's exactly what you're going for. You could say, and you're always allowed to move the card down. They don't have to stay in one spot. They just have to stay in the correct order. You could say, no, I was going to spell trimmer, T-R-I-M-M-E-R. Then you would win the challenge, and the person challenging you would then get the points. It might be a bad example, but that's just kind of how the game will work. As soon as you hit a threshold, then the player that has the least amount of points will be the winner of the game. So you're going to spend a lot of your time just kind of looking at these letters, saying, okay, what word can I place here? What can I do? I got a Y. Where could I put that at? Now, let's say I put this here, and they're like, well, there are no words with TR blank MY. Then they could challenge and say, this doesn't make a word at all. And then if you're the one to put the last played card down, then you would gain all the points too. And that's a look at how you play Disorder. Now, there are some cards in here that are optional, like the pass card. You can play exchange and stuff that kind of shake things up. But this is generally speaking the way that you play the game. Who should buy this game? Anybody who likes word games. If you're tired of things like Scrabble, etc., and looking for a new experience. I mean, I do like paperback better. I do like Word on the Street better as a party game atmosphere. But Disorder is right up there, right below them, and ones that I could easily recommend to anybody who's liking a word game. Maybe if you're homeschooling and you want to help the kids learn how to spell, Disorder could be it as you're just playing a game, as you're trying to spell words. That could be a bonus for them. As for us, I don't think it's something I would pull out or want to stick with. Disorder will be a purge.